ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Icon with some DC TV, and we are reviewing the brand new series, and we are here to keep the peace. And oh boy, um, I need to say this before I even begin to review this series. I'm a huge superhero fan. Love my comic book TV shows, my movies, my animation, my cartoon. I'm a DC fan. I enjoy Marvel. My problem with a lot of Marvel is that Marvel tends to go overboard with the comedy. There's a lot of forced jokes. I hate Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and I hate a lot of the comedic aspects of a lot of these shows. The comedic aspect of Hawkeye really pissed me off because everything with the Russian chick just didn't belong, and it wasn't funny, and it was annoying. I'm more of, like I said, I like DC because DC tends to take things seriously, but I do like comedy when it's character specific. I have no problem with comedy when it comes to an Ant-Man because Paul Rudd is he's a comedic guy, so you expect that from Paul Rudd. You expect jokes from Iron Man. You expect jokes from Spider-Man, because he's a high school kid, and it makes perfect sense for him to be quippy and jokey and everything like that. But I don't want that shit from like Thor. I don't want that from like the Incredible Hulk. I don't want that from Batman. Like I don't want jokes, like from Wonder Woman. It has to be, I'm fine with Shazam, because Shazam, he's a 10-year-old kid inside of a grown man's body. So of course he's gonna be funny. And I accept PeaceMaker because, the PeaceMaker character, that John Cena is portraying was a comedic character in the Suicide Squad. So I understand that he's going to be jokey. And I'm perfectly fine with him being the one that's being jokey. With that being said, from a DC standpoint, I can see right now this show is going to be my worst nightmare from a comedy standpoint. They came right out the gate, and it was like Def Comedy Jam, and first of all, the episode starts where John Cena is waking up from the hospital. They actually, when they do the whole previously on, they recap the entire Suicide Squad movie. The black girl, like the light-skinned black girl with the glasses that knocked Amanda Waller out, they bent her over a table and arrested her and locked her up. And I actually don't remember that in the movie. I got to go back and watch that because I was always wondering like what happened to her, because I know like Amanda Waller had reassigned the other people, but I never knew what happened to the black chick who knocked her out. So apparently she got locked up. I hope she comes back in this series because I thought she was fine as hell. And I'd like to see her character, come back again. So now John Cena, he got shot in the neck, by Idris Elba's character, by Bloodsport, and he wakes up from the hospital and he's perfectly fine. Well, the doctor said, just don't raise your right arm above your shoulder or something like that, you'll be fine. And I'm waiting for the show to get started, and then when he tries to leave the hospital, he bumps into this guy, who's cleaning the floors, and the two of them get into a comedic moment. Now, again, this is PeaceMaker, character specific, so I'm expecting the comedy, I'm expecting this to be a comedic scene. With that being said, that scene between him and that janitor guy went on for way too long. It was funny for like the first minute, and then after a while, I was like, "Why are you two still talking?" John Cena, he left. Just in case anybody says I'm biased, because like I got on Hawkeye. I definitely got on Hawkeye a lot for for the unnecessary comedy. So fair is fair. I gotta keep it real. So Cena, he leaves the hospital, goes to his house. He's in his house. His cell phone's still on for some reason. Well, we find out why later. And then all of a sudden, the new group, the group that Amanda Waller had reassigned, they end up showing up at his house along with some black dude. Now, here's what's interesting: the big black girl, she's the well, again, we're checking boxes, just like with the Naomi series, we're checking boxes here. So now that we're checking all the boxes, the big black girl who's also on the team, she checks off the LGBTQ portion of the show because she's a lesbian. She has a lesbian lover. Well, she's married. She has a lesbian wife, and they did a whole scene just to let us know that she's gay, and she's going to be the token gay character who's also going to make unnecessary jokes because when she met PeaceMaker for the first time, she went on this whole monologue about how nervous she was and excited to be here at the same time. What was interesting, we do find out later on, and this was a surprise to me. I was shocked when I found out that Viola Davis, Amanda Waller, is actually in the series. Because the black dude, because when Cena went to his trailer and the whole team rolled up on him, put the guns on him, this black guy showed up and he was just like, "Yo, I need you to do a job for me." He said, "I need you to be on my team," and he said, "I basically need you to do, to do some jobs." And he was like, "You mean kill people?" And he was like, "Yeah, because I work directly under Amanda Waller. I'm like Amanda Waller's right hand." So I was just like, okay, so he's gonna be the guy that takes Amanda Waller's plays because we're not actually gonna get Amanda Waller. And then come to find out we actually got Amanda Waller. And not only did we get Amanda Waller, it's revealed that the black girl on the team, that's Amanda Waller's daughter. And as soon as Amanda Waller popped up on screen, because I heard her voice when she was talking to her on the computer, as soon as they revealed that that was Amanda Waller, before she even said, I was like, that's her daughter. Because why else would she be having that conversation with her on the computer? And probably the black dude is probably like her, that's probably like her daddy. You know what I'm saying? That's probably, because there was a moment where the black girl walked over to John Cena. Well, John Cena walked over. His name is Chris Johnson, Chris John, something like that. Chris Smith. She walked over to Chris Peacemaker and she said, "Oh, what did you mean by?" Because when John Cena met the black dude, he told him, he was like, "Yo, I heard a lot of stories about you," and the black girl went out of her way to go to Peacemaker and be like, "What did you mean when you said you've heard some things about the black guy?" I'll learn their names later. Now I feel like, now that we know that that's Amanda Waller's daughter, that's probably her daddy, which is why he said he works directly with and under Amanda Waller. That's probably her daddy. That's the whole family thing. So that's cool. I like that. And I need to see where that goes. So what they're doing is, the mission apparently is, like I said, there are certain targets that that he has to take out. One of the targets is a senator, and I guess like they gave him like a dossier, they gave him a whole folder on the senator, and he was supposed to read it over and look into it. Instead, he ends up going around, like driving around the city. The blonde chick that's on his team, he sees her going into a bar. He tries to holler at her. She plays the token, "I'm gonna be a bitch." She plays that token character, but she's like, "I'm a bitch, but I'm a badass that also wears makeup, and I understand that I'm pretty, but take me seriously." Like, she's gonna be one of those characters. John Cena tried to hit it. She told him no, and then she's like, "I can never just go to a bar and just have a beer." And I'm just like, first of all, if you're that boss, like, because she said this whole thing, she was like, "Oh, every time I try to go to a bar and just have a beer, I get hit on by dudes." Go to a supermarket, buy a 6-pack, and drink the shit in your house if you don't want to be around people. Like, if you're in a public setting, and this is male and female, it's not just a female thing. If you're a dude and you go to a public restaurant, bar, lounge, or whatever, bowling alley, whatever, women who find you attractive, I mean, women rarely do this, but women will most likely come up to you and be like, "Hey, handsome, can I sit down and have a conversation with you?" If you're an attractive woman and you're in a public setting like a bar, there's a chance that a guy is going to come up to you and he's going to try to get your number. You tell him no and you move on. And if he gets too handsy, do what she did and break his arm. But to be like, "Oh, I just can't go to a bar," it's like, you know better than that. Like, she knows better than that. She's just like, "Oh, because I have on makeup." It's like if you didn't want to be bothered by anybody, why would you go to the bar wearing makeup? She's like, "Oh, just because I have on makeup and I'm pretty, guys are going to hit on me." Yes. If you didn't want anybody to hit on you, take the makeup off. If you just wanted to go to the bar for a drink, take the makeup off, wear shitty clothes, go there looking like a bag lady, have your beer, nobody will talk to you, and then go on about your business. Her whole thing is, it's not that she's bothered by the attention. The type of person who she wants to come up to her and talk to her didn't come up to her. She didn't get the type of guy that she would like to have approach her. She got like smelly biker guys, and then she got John douchebag Cena. That's why she was upset. So anyway, so she gets mad. She leaves the bar. John Cena sees some chick over in the corner. He hollers at her. They end up going back to her, her apartment. He hits it. They actually showed him hitting it. That was very surprising to me. I didn't think they'd do that. HBO Max. Let's get the Arrowverse on HBO Max. I want that merger, that sale to go through. And then, after he hits it, he's sitting in the living room chilling. He's playing some records. And then all of a sudden, the girl tries to kill him. And then I'm just like, okay, now the show is getting interesting. Like, here we go. It's like, we had to sit through all this comedic bullshit, but I'm like, now this show is getting interesting. He's fighting the chick. The girl has like some weird, crazy type of superpower. and she throws him around the room. She kicks him all over the place. She beats his ass kind of. And then he ended up, it was so bad, like this chick was so strong, he couldn't beat her. He ended up jumping out of the window to get away from her. And, you know, then earlier in the episode, he went back to go see his dad because he had to go pick up his bald eagle because he has a pet eagle. When he sees his dad is the most racist, sexist, pro-American, you know, like douchebag on the planet. But the other part of that is he treats his son like complete shit. He's always talking down to his son. And there was a moment where he was like John Cena, well, I keep calling him John Cena. PeaceMaker was telling his dad the story about how Idris Elba's character was afraid of rats. And how like he was scared to death, and you know how this big strong man was afraid of rats. And then the dad thought that was hilarious. He thought it was funny. But then he said that better not have been the guy who shot you in the neck. And then when Cena was just like, yeah, he kind of was the guy who shot me in the neck. Then his dad was like, how did I raise such a pussy? And I was just like, wow, really, dude? You know, and I'm like, God forbid he told you that Idris Elba was black. You know, like you would have really had a heart attack. So his dad is very not the most like comforting person in the world. Like he treats his son like shit, which is, you know, he's very hard on him. And, you know, like the black girl said, there's a certain sadness within him because you can tell he just wants his dad to love him and he seeks his father's approval. His dad also makes weapons. His dad makes the PeaceMaker helmets. And apparently now these helmets actually do stuff because his dad is some sort of technical whiz. He created different types of helmets. One helmet he gave him actually had a weapon system in it. So that was the helmet that he chose to go out on the streets with. He even got a brand new PeaceMaker uniform. So now when he's in the parking lot and he's running from the girl that whooped his ass and the girl found him hiding behind his car, he put the helmet on that his dad gave him, and then he said, activate sonic boom. And this big sonic boom blast came out of the helmet, and it incinerated the woman who was trying to kill him, who had this weird super strength. I need more. That was cool. Like I need more. I need to know more about these helmets, and I need to know more about where this girl got her powers from, what the government's doing, because if the target is a government senator, the senator is probably behind some program that they're trying to create like their own enhancement, like metahuman people. But now that Viola Davis is actually in the series, I'm pretty sure the reason why that girl had like enhanced powers or why she was kind of like monster-ishy and crazy, it's probably Project Cadmus, and Amanda Waller's character started Project Cadmus for the sole purpose of creating their own superpowered people so they can combat the Justice League in case the Justice League goes rogue. That is my prediction for the show. And that was it. And thank you for tuning in. So, oh yeah, his dad is racist as hell. So he even told his dad, like his dad even said, he was just like, yeah, he was like, now that I got you a new weapon system and a new helmet, he was just like, so what are you going to do? He said, you're going to go out there and kill some blacks. I was like, wow. He was like, you're going to kill some women, some Nazis, some German people. And I was just like, wow, I could tell I'm going to hate his father. So, yeah, so that was it. So, yeah, I'm going to I mean, hell, I reviewed Loki, and Loki was complete trash. If I reviewed all 6 episodes of Loki, hell, if I reviewed WandaVision, I'm going to review PeaceMaker. I'm a DC guy. I actually do like the PeaceMaker character, so I'm going to review the show. There are good elements in this show. Like, there are a lot of hidden secrets in this show that I want to see. There are a lot of things happening, so I want to see how it progresses and how it, you know, like, contributes to the overall story. So we're definitely invested. All I got to say is from a comedy standpoint, this is going to be pretty rough. So share your thoughts below. What do you think of the show? Are you fine with the comedy? Did you like the first episode? Are you excited for more? They gave us 3 episodes right out the gate, and we're going to review them all. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Instagram. Share your thoughts on YouTube where I can talk back to you and we can go back and forth about how we feel about all this superhero goodness, because the Arrowverse is in full effect. Every show but The Flash is back, and we're reviewing all those shows. Check them out on my channel. So thanks for tuning in, guys. So for peace, let's keep the peace until episode 2. Until the next time, I'm out this. Peace!